This is going to seem like I'm revisiting a very old product, and I guess in a lot of ways I am, but the good old CamelBak has been around for such a long time, and as you can see from my own one, and this is not one I've actually had all that long, but they put up with a lot of rough treatment. Your CamelBak gets thrown all over the place, and what's interesting about them was, although I've had this one a while, and this one's called a mule, there's hogs in all different sizes and all different applications and so forth, I had to replace the bladder. Now, I crash a lot, and a lot of times when you fall on your back, the bladder actually acts as a great shock absorber, and you know, if you hit hard enough, the bladder bursts, which is what happened in this case. Saves you a lot of injury, you get a whack back, but the bladder's no big deal. So what I thought was interesting about the new bladder, I hadn't bought one for such a long time, is the amount of technology involved and how far that CamelBak has come over the years. I remember in probably the early 1990s, we were all hooning about the place, and hydration was just a sort of science word we never thought much about. And then CamelBak came out, and all it was a black sort of nylon bag with two very thin straps on it, and like a thick wine bladder in it to hold water. What it had that no one else had, though, was the bite valve. Didn't have a switch on it back then. It was just a little straight rubber thing that stuck out the end, and water didn't come out unless you bit on it and sucked water out. That was a big deal at the time. I see a lot of other, well, just about everyone's got it now. I don't know whether CamelBak sold them the patent or didn't patent it correctly or whatever, but that was CamelBak's big innovation when it first came out, was this bite valve thing. So when I replaced this bladder the other day, and just bear with me while I get it out of here to have a look, there were some very marked improvements, because the old ones used to have a sort of nylon cap that was a pain. You could never it was a pain to use, and you could never clean the unit properly. That was a pest. Nowadays it's got little wings built into it that help you, can you see those? That you fold out, and they help you keep the bladder, when you hang it upside down, and that keeps the bladder open so you can dry it properly. It has a dry break for the actual lead, the drinker tube up to your mouth, so you can just clean the bladder now. I thought that was pretty amazing, and of course the new cap is this big half-turn arrangement that you can just turn and pop. There it is, easy to clean because you can get right down in there. I actually have the CamelBak cleaning kit, which makes it even easier again. So I know you can buy bladders very cheaply just about everywhere these days, but I was really impressed at how far CamelBak's come over the last probably 10 years since I last bought one of these things. I think it's just a great bit of kit, incredibly well made, and something really no rider should be without, not even for short rides. You know, you've got to watch your hydration. So as we get older, a little bit older, and we're cruising along on adventure bikes, you think it might be something you can ignore. You really can't. And I have to say, the CamelBak, man, it's just a great accessory.